Oh, hey, long time no see. You want to learn the topic and subject markers? Seriously? 좀 더 쉬운 게 낫지 않을까? 그래. 알았어. 가자. Today we're heading into a bit of a tricky concept. Topic and subject markers have confused Korean speakers at every level. Even most natives can't explain how to use them, even though natives can use them perfectly themselves. The topic marker and the subject marker are actually quite simple, and each has certain cases when one's preferred over the other, but there are some gray areas. These gray areas are what makes them difficult to understand, but with practice, anyone can learn them. First, I'll start by explaining what the topic marker is. You use "n" if it comes after a consonant, or "는" if it comes after a vowel. The topic marker is placed after whatever is the topic of what you're talking about. If I'm talking about my best friend and I want to say my best friend went to the store, I'd use the topic marker after him. 내 가장 친한 친구는 가게에 갔어요. My best friend went to the store. Here, my best friend is the topic. Since the topic of what I'm talking about has now been established, anything else I say after is also in reference to the topic, my best friend. If I wanted to then say in the next sentence, yesterday my best friend bought an apple, I wouldn't have to restate the topic since we already know that it's my best friend. I'd only have to say 어제 사과를 샀어요. Although saying my best friend went to the store, yesterday he bought an apple, isn't the way a person would naturally speak in a regular situation in English or Korean, it does show how the topic marker works. It sets the topic of what you're talking about. That's why it's called the topic marker. In this way, you can think of the topic marker as meaning something like as for. As for my best friend, he went to the store. Here's another example. 나는 김치를 좋아해. As for me, I like kimchi. Next, let's talk about the subject marker. You use "이" if it comes after a consonant, or "가" if it comes after a vowel. The subject marker is placed after whatever is the subject of your sentence, or after the subject of a verb, either an action verb or a descriptive verb. This is different from the topic marker, which simply marks the topic of what you're talking about, but can sometimes work in a similar way. The subject marker is used anytime you're asking a question or answering one. For example, if you wanted to ask, did 철수 eat lunch? 철수, the subject of the sentence, would be marked with the subject marker. 철수가 점심을 먹었어요? The subject marker is also used when answering a question. For example, if someone asked, 뭐가 가장 좋을 것 같아요? What do you think would be best? You could answer it by saying, 이게 가장 좋을 것 같아요. I think this is best. Although native Korean speakers or English speakers wouldn't normally speak like this, it helps to illustrate how the subject marker is used when asking and answering questions. Here's just one more example. 뭐가 그렇게 웃겨요? What's so funny? The answer would be this. You'd fill in the blank with whatever the subject is. If you want to put a person here as the subject, just know that calling a person 웃기다 is rude, so a better way to say a person is funny in a positive way is by using the verb 재밌다. 철수가 재밌어요. Now here are some examples of how to use both the topic marker and the subject marker in the same sentence. Hopefully this will help you to understand the different roles they play. 나는 나의 가장 친한 친구가 가게에 갔다고 말했다. I said that my best friend went to the store. Whenever someone is saying a quote, the person saying the quote, 나, will be followed by the topic marker, and the subject of the quote, 나의 가장 친한 친구, will be followed by the subject marker. Switching the topic and subject marker here would sound awkward. Let's try it anyway though. 내가 나의 가장 친한 친구는 가게에 갔다고 말했다. See what I did? We swapped I to be the subject, and now my best friend is the topic. Besides sounding strange now, the meaning of the sentence is essentially this. I. As for my best friend, let's talk about him now. I said he went to the store. But this doesn't only apply for quotes. It's the same anytime you have two statements inside of the same sentence. Here's some more examples of using the topic marker and subject marker in this way. 나는 엄마가 가장 좋다. I like mom the best. Let's break the sentence down a bit. 나는, I. As for me. This is what the topic marker is essentially saying. 엄마가. Now let's say something about mom. Mom isn't the topic of the sentence, since it's me we're talking about. Mom is going to have some kind of verb to go with her since she's the subject. 가장 좋다. To be the best, or to like the best. I was the topic of the sentence, and my mom was the subject. If we were to switch me to be the subject and mom to be the topic, the meaning would simply reverse. 엄마는 내가 가장 좋다. Mom likes me the best. Here's another specific way in which you can use both the topic marker and the subject marker in the same sentence. 생선은 도미가 최고지. As for fish, snapper is the best. Or, when it comes to fish, snapper is the best. Notice that the topic marker is setting the topic of what the speaker is going to be talking about. Hopefully now you can see that as for can make a decent translation for the topic marker, especially when used in this way. Well, those are all the main uses for the topic and subject markers. I'd recommend practicing with them as much as possible. They're not really as vague as they may seem, but they do take a while to get the hang of. Just remember to practice often and you'll be fine. 아직 시간 있어. I can still make last place if I hurry. 다음에 또 봐.